So we went and saw Rogue One last night, and I had to give kind of a review. This is going to be my Sunday vlog today. I just have to say right off the bat, I love this movie. It reminded me a lot of the Star Wars films that I grew up watching. I was fortunate that I turned 13 the summer of 1977. And my brother Andy, who's now staying with us right over here in our guest room, my brother Andy, who I thought was the coolest guy in the world, took me to Southtown Cinema #1, where I saw Star Wars for the first time. Han Solo and Harrison Ford's performance as Han Solo made me want to act. And it was the beginning. Just a year later, I was in my first play, and the rest is history. But I saw Star Wars in cinema #1 at Southtown Mall, right next to Aladdin's Castle back in 1977, 21 times. Now back to Rogue One. Felicity Jones is, Felicity Jones is fantastic as the heroine of the story, Jyn Erso. Diego Luna is surprisingly wonderful as Cassian Andor. What I liked about both Felicity Jones and Diego Luna was, Force Awakens, the more distance I have from it, the less I like it, and the performances in it. Because it seemed like all the people in Force Awakens, all the newcomers, the young kids, were trying to force something or do like a Star Wars thing instead of just playing their characters, I think, for their character's sake. With Rogue One, I feel like every single performance in this is unique because they're not trying to be anybody else. They're not trying to be Han Solo. They're not trying to be... They're not trying to be anybody but the characters that they're playing. Okay, so I'm finishing my review of Rogue One here in the elevator as I take my dog for a walk down the parking garage because it's way too cold out, forced to go outside. I think one of the things that Marvel and Star Wars and superhero movies have been doing is they've been forcing movies into being a lot of exposition of backstory. It's like we need to know everything about a character in their lives from their backstory. And so, with a lot of superhero movies, you've got characters that you have to see their origin stories and all their backstory before the main story can begin. And what I liked about Rogue One is that they established the backstory of Jyn Erso and a little bit of Diego Luna's character, and then the rest we were meant to kind of meet along the way. It was kind of like a Dirty Dozen kind of thing, which I really liked. And it wasn't about constantly having to know everything about everyone. And the character that Donnie Yen played, the blind Force user, and the fellow who he traveled with, I thought their relationship was awesome. And I didn't really care why they were close or how they were close. It didn't have to be sexual. I liked the way they just kind of left it ambiguous. They were both very important to each other, obviously. But at the same time, we didn't need to know every single detail about them, which is okay. You don't need to know everything about every character in every movie. Mads Mikkelsen also is fantastic. Let me just say that too. They really put in some wonderful Easter eggs. Blue milk, in praise of blue milk. I loved the fact that Walrus Man and the guy who attacks Luke in the cantina bump into Diego Luna's character on Jeddah. I thought that was brilliant. And the leader of Red Squadron talks to Red 5, and Red 5 immediately gets shot down. It's one of those wonderful little touches that dovetails into Luke becoming Red 5. I didn't mind the CGI stuff with Peter Cushing, Grand Moff Tarkin, and I didn't mind it at the end with Princess Leia. I hear a lot of people complain about it, but I thought it was awesome. I thought the way they did it with Darth Vader at the end and the rebels trying to get those plans through the jammed door was beautiful. I thought it was really horrifying and beautiful. And then when we get on Princess Leia's ship at the end, it's just one of those moments where you want to congratulate filmmakers for doing things the right way. I can't tell you how much I enjoyed it. And going to see it with Steve and his two sons, I think was one of the best ideas we've had in a long time. Seeing it with the kids was even better, even though it's a very adult movie too. It's not made for kids. It's not made for toys. It's made for adults. And again, I appreciated that very much. I give it 2 very big thumbs up, and I would highly recommend it. And I think once you see it, you'll agree with me that it's probably right up there in the top 3 of the best Star Wars movies of all time. All right, folks, that's it. It's Sunday, December 18th. Fantastic to have Steve and his kids over, and great to go see Rogue One. I'm going in tomorrow to record another spot at 10 a.m. tomorrow, so that's great. She needs to get back upstairs. May the Force be with you.